Bonjour and welcome to all of you comic book geeks, readers and collectors to yet another back issue haul. I had a good day Saturday with my two main muckers, my two boys, Jamie, New Dawn Comics in Rayleigh, and Paul over in Comics and Fantasy, Hornchurch, Essex. If you haven't heard of them before, if you've been here before, you know their names. Their names are legend. Hello, guys. And my journey to both of those shops has produced not odd bods, but three distinct and beautiful piles of comics. And I'll do something a little bit different with this back issue haul. Because what I'll do is I'll chapterize it, because I've got three. I've kind of got a dark horse sandwich. So if you're vegan, you ain't going to want to... No, it's nothing to do with that. I mean, you know what I mean, the publisher. Right, my first pile. Bronze Age Iron Man. All the gaps, Jamie at New Dawn Comics had got another run in of Iron Man. I'd bought a load off of Paul. I bought a lovely run. And in fact, I bought issue 1 off of Jamie. If you are a sexy subscriber, you know what I'm talking about. Or you follow me on Threads, you know the boy sorted me out and let me pay over weeks for issue 1 of Iron Man. So I have been assembling that run, and it is a big run. Believe me, that is a big run of comics. Decades. Anyway, we're getting there. Second up is, and sorry for the glare, because these beautiful bags that Paul has sheathed the collection in. When Prometheus, the movie, come out, 2014-15, look, Dark Horse done a beautiful set of comics. There's about, and I'll put my hand up, never seen them before. He had them on the wall, and he knew it was like a tractor beam. What are they? Where are they from? Beautiful covers, inside beautiful artworks. The artists they've got on these sets, little 4-issue miniseries, Prometheus, Predator, Alien, and etc. We'll have a look. And then one of the ultimate Bronze Age runs. Come on. Doesn't get better than that. The trio, really, your top 3 of Bronze Age Marvel is What If, Marvel 2-in-1, and Marvel Team Up. They are your go-tos. If you're going to collect, and if you're going to go back in the day, and I've never had, you know, in the past I've said that when I bought the comic shops and I put my own collection in, I've been reacquiring comics. I never had these, so this is the first time I got my hands on these. I've had the odd one or two, you know. I think everyone, if you're a collector, you just pick up the odd 1 and 2. Oh, it's Daredevil, you know, it's Frank Miller, there's a Frank Miller Daredevil issue, and blah blah blah. But this is the run. Oh yes. If you like the sound of that, I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to give you my scroll, and after my little scroll, I'll chapterize. I'm going to do Iron Man first, because that is just a tad earlier, I think, than What If number 1. And I'm going to squeeze Dark Horse in the middle, and I'm going to squeeze and then tease you all with the What Ifs. We'll go through them one by one, because it will take a while. The Iron Mans I'll kind of run through, but the What Ifs, we have to take a little bit of time, don't we? We do. Part of me wants to do a whole separate thing on What Ifs, and all I would say before the scroll, when I go through the What Ifs, if any of you sexy subscribers want to see me do a little short on like a short video, that a deep dive on any one of those issues, let me know. And don't say do a deep dive on every single issue. Well, I suppose you can. I shouldn't really set limits, should I? Let me know if there are particular issues you go, oh wow, yes, or wow, I've never seen that before, need to see that. Let me know and I'll do a little short. I'll do a little YouTube short on them. So if I've literally grabbed your fancy and tickled it, join me after the scroll for more tickling your fancy. Right, so here we go. Let's rattle through these Iron Mans. Now, normally at this point, we started in 1975, issue 81. These aren't, these aren't all singing, all dancing, even though in this issue right here, we have got Len Wein writing, and you've got Herb Trimpe, Marie Severin, and Jack Abel on the art. Now, if that isn't 4 creators that you need in one single comic for 9p in 1975, I don't know what. We were spoiled. But normally, I would do a run like this, and you know what I'd be saying. If it was Fantastic Four or it was Thor, because you know these big runs I'm assembling, I'd be saying, oh, look, I've bought another load of shitters. But do you know what? In this issue, George Tusker, who done so much world building on Iron Man, George Tusker was literally doing it. If you're an Iron Man fan, you know what I mean. But in this issue, Bob Layton is labelled as the inker and cut-up guy. Inker and cut-up. Don't get it. I don't get it. But getting back to the shitters, these weren't, with Iron Man, what I'm finding is with Iron, and it's something that struck me when I picked this pile up off of Jamie, is that it remained pretty strong, to be fair. Creatively remained strong. It didn't. It's going to have its ups and downs, but do you know what? This period, it wasn't the shitters. You had writers like Len Wein, David Michelin, and then you had John Romita Jr. come on and Bob Layton. There's an issue. We'll get to it in a minute. I mean, Steve Ditko did an issue, but this era now is Bob Layton and David Michelin. It was a decent run, and it was this era, if I'm going to be honest, I think it's this run that defined, maybe not Iron Man, but defined Tony Stark as the billionaire. This is John Romita Jr. art in his early days. Like I say, all this creative talent, it wasn't. These are just gaps in the collection. This isn't the shitters. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. This is good. This is just good, solid stuff. Michelin writing, John Romita Jr., Bob Layton, and then there's an odd bod. There's an odd bod Ditko. Like I say, this is the Ditko issue, because I had to open this one up because I was so intrigued with suddenly, savagely, the Serpent Squad. I mean, you can't get more alliteration than that on a comic cover, can you? Suddenly, savagely, the Serpent Squad. All the ethies. You want to say it with a snake's tongue. Oh, I thought that was the Hulk then. without my glasses on. Here we go in his new outfit. You know, because like I say, it was all, you know, California, here we come, if we're lucky. You know, there were some good storylines. Even though I hated this font, I hated this era. I did not like this. I'm going to put that on public record. I didn't like this era of Iron Man. I didn't. This was the lull. But it wasn't, even then, it wasn't the shitters. And we're back in the room. We've got rivets on the Iron Man logo. So yes, we're back in the room. Even though he's got this ridiculous costume, but he was going through it. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying, out of my trio of long box collections, which is Fantastic Four, Iron Man and Thor, I don't know why I'm seeing less crap here. Ant-Man seemed to be a guest star all the time. Anyway, that was all gaps in the, what number did we get up to? 233. I think I've still got more to go. I think my old mate Jamie, he's got 287 onwards, which I've got to double check out there. That I haven't got, what issues I've got, what issues I haven't. Like they're mega runs. But I've took on the challenge, and that's how it's going to be. Right, here's your sorbet between courses, because this little set that my old mate Paul had up on the wall, that rhymes, doesn't it? But that's irrelevant. But to coincide with Prometheus 2014-15, they Dark Horse, who have always done a beautiful job of these licensed storylines. Look at that. Sorry for the glare, because it's just the particular type of bag that Paul. But he had all these up on the wall, and it was literally stop the press. Look, I'm sorry if the glare is kind of, but look at the beautiful art. Look, it was literally stop the press. What is that? I missed them. Look, he's a Predator, and these are all interconnecting. These are all released within the same month or two. You know, sorry I missed it. If you remember 10 years ago what Dark Horse did with this, with these titles, then fair play to you if you've got them, because this was not an inexpensive set to acquire, I've got to say, but beautiful art. Mooneyham on the art of this Predator, who recently did the G.I. Joe for the Energon universe for Image, but here he is 10 years ago. Beautiful art, beautiful covers, beautiful artwork inside. Obviously, I haven't read the stories yet, so I don't know if they're going to be crap. I don't imagine they will be, but look, that's a great. Oh, I'm so gutted that the glare. Sorry, but the sun in England at the moment is just glaring through the. I just can't stop it unless I want to board up my windows. Look, you're getting the. I hope you're getting the gist of that. Yeah, beautiful covers. A little bit of magnolia. If I hold it back, maybe that helps. Yeah, look. Oh, and then look, it says it all. Aliens versus Predator. So we do Prometheus, Predator, Aliens versus Predator, and then does it go, oh, Alien, and then, oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's all kicking off with this set. This is the complete set. And then the bookend, the 44-page finale. Look at that. I am a fan of all of the aforementioned franchises, so I'm very, very happy to be picking that up. Like I say, I didn't even know it existed. So when you see it on the wall, of your LCS. Can you imagine the excitement, the adrenaline? Like it's brand new. It's 10 years old, but to me, it's brand new. Yes, I'm going to have it. Also, I'm going to have what I'd already spoken to my old mate Paul about, which is one of the trio of your Bronze Age Marvel accoutrement you need. Call yourself a comic book collector. Have you got What If, Marvel 2-in-1 and Marvel Team Up? Oh, you haven't? Oh, yeah, you must be one of those young people, those modern collectors. I'm only joking. I'm very fortunate to be in a position to get this whole run. And if there are any of these that are intriguing you, just use your pause button, guys, please, because I've got to rattle through them. Otherwise, this video is going to be like 18 hours long. So, just let me know. Frank Robbins and Frank Springer on this with Roy Thomas. If you know Invaders, then you know that. Captain America. Look, what if Fantastic Four had different superpowers? Oh, come on. We know this stuff. What if someone else besides Spider-Man had been bitten by the radio? That is a long title. And some of these what ifs, they did later, like decades later. Like what if the world knew that Daredevil is blind? Well, I would say that they did that, but they also, what if they knew he was Matt Murdock? Look, Jane Foster. What if Jane Foster had found the hammer? It's been like, they've gone back there. Oh, that's a funny one. What if the Marvel bullpen was, yeah, Fantastic Four? Come on. What if Rick Jones become the Hulk? Conan in the modern era? Sergeant Fury. Why would he fight World War II in space? Nova. What if there were 4 Novas? Hello? Fu Manchu. Master of Shang-Chi. What if he was fighting for his side? What if Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel were villains? That is a bit of a stretch in it. But what if Doctor Strange was a disciple of Dormammu? What if Spider-Man had literally not become a crime fighter? Oh, look, the Avengers Kree Skrull War. Look, what if Rick Jones hadn't joined in? Oh, I can't explain that. I can't wait to delve into this one. Because the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Submariner, and Sue Richards, and Alicia Masters with Silver Surfer, and all of those little love triangles that were going on. I used to, looking back, I lapped up. I enjoyed so much. I really did. What if Doctor Doom had become a hero? Literally this year, One World Under Doom. We're asking that question again. What if Hulk had become, well, this is Planet Hulk. That is Planet Hulk. Nice. This is just nice. And like I say, just let me know if you want to see any of these. There's a part of me that just wants to do a video on each one of these comics. But you know I'm lazy. What if Captain America had been elected president? You know, these ridiculous. What if Phoenix had not died? Did she? A spoiler alert. Sorry if any of you didn't know that. Wow. I should have done a spoiler alert. I mean, some of them are ridiculous. What if Daredevil was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yeah, you know. I don't think any of us were asking that question. What if the Avengers defeated everybody? I've never ever read this one. What if his clone lived? Yeah, there is much rummaging I'm going to have through these what ifs, I tell you. What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk in issue 181? What if the Avengers... Yeah, you probably don't get this unless you really are a Bronze Age aficionado, or you collect the omnibuses and you know about this whole, the Korvac saga running through the Avengers. What if Iron Man was trapped in the time of King Art? Yeah, some of them do stretch. What if Dazzler was a herald of Galactus? Well, Galactus would be going hungry, I reckon. What's this? What if... Don't stop. Don't buy this issue. Never seen that before in my life. Even though I claim to be such a Marvel fan, got to admit, I've never ever seen that cover before in my life. Take a look at that. Pause, rewind, read the bubbles down the bottom. I can't wait to read the story inside. It'll be cuckoo. I know it's going to be cuckoo. This is one that I've had for years and years. I'm 99%. I'm 99%. I don't know why I went all Sean Connery then. I'm 99% sure this is... Oh no, that's Tony Benn now. Right, back in the room. I'm 99% sure this is Frank Miller, and it's what if Electra had lived, but she didn't. No one dies in comics today. No one dies. What if the Fantastic Four were just normal, not gain superpowers? Well, that would be very, very boring, wouldn't it? Because we wouldn't have a superhero. What if the Beast and the Thing continue to mutate? Good stuff. Like I say, I know I keep saying it. I can't wait. Daredevil, Captain America, free. They're not even putting the questions on the cover now. That they're so confident that you're going to enjoy what's inside. What if Thor battled Conan? We had these conversations at school, didn't we? Who could beat? Who would win? Thor or the Hulk if they had a fight? You know, we had all them. What if Doctor Strange had not become? Now, again, this is a question, you know, in all seriousness, I know I have a laugh and a joke, but in all seriousness, a lot of these what-if questions writers have used as a storytelling tool to mine an idea. And, you know, and good ideas. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Just saying, they mined these ideas. What if the Invisible Girl had died? Well, no, we wouldn't accept that. We just wouldn't accept that. So that was a non-starter. What if Conan was... Did they not do this about 15 issues ago? But a beautiful Bill Sienkiewicz cover. Oh, that's when old Bill was rocking and rolling, wasn't he, doing Captain America? Look, imagine, what's this one? Were revived today. Well, it wouldn't have made a lot of difference. What if the Hulk went berserk? It's still a great cover, though, isn't it? It is still a beautiful cover, but isn't he been going berserk since about issue 1? What if Uncle Ben had lived? Intriguing. Definitely intriguing. Loki, and the last issue, to round it all up, look, what if Loki had found the hammer of Thor? Well, from what we know now, you can't just find it, can you? You need to be worthy to lift it. So, Anyway, you can tell I'm only joking because I've had so much fun rummaging through that, and I hope you have too. That, like I say, that Marvel 2-in-1, Marvel team-ups, they're your Bronze Age go-tos. There's plenty more sets of comics that we all talk about if you're a Marvel fan and you're into the Bronze Age. You know, Ghost Rider, Tomb of Dracula. Does Rom come into Bronze Age? Yeah, just those three off the top. But your main ones, they are What If. So I'm so happy, like over the moon, to be picking those up. And I hope you're over the moon if you followed me this far through this video. You must be one of my sexy, sexy subscribers if you're still with me. I'm going to tell you right now how much I love you, if you don't already know. And I appreciate every minute that you spend watching my so-called content. But I do hope you enjoy it. I don't do it. Well, I enjoy rummaging. I enjoy doing that. So I hope you do too. So until next time, I'm going to bid you all adios.